So we're here with Brian, one of the producers of Arcadian Atlas. Thank you for taking your time and speaking with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having us and interviewing.
Yeah. So what is, for someone coming in blind to the game, what is the Arcadian Atlas sort of pitch?
Yeah. So Arcadian Atlas is an isometric tactical RPG game featuring two characters, Vashti and Desmond, who are kind of soldiers for the queen, this corrupt queen in the world of Arcadia. Arcadian Atlas is a really narrative-focused game. You're going to see both Desmond and Vashti really travel through this land, learn about the land, learn about the politics and the dynamics, have to make some hard choices as individuals and as lovers, of course, and they're going to be put through quite many challenges as a kind of mysterious ancient magic is being awoken, and the fight for the throne kind of opens itself up.
Okay, and within those choices that the characters are making, is that the player making these choices that then impact the game? Is it going to be more linear narrative style, or is it branching path?
Yeah, so it's going to be more linear. You are following Vashti and Desmond, so you're really going to see the world through their eyes.
Got it.
The developers, Twin Otter, have done an amazing job really giving these characters backstories and allowing them to live in these worlds. You're going to see different characters make different decisions because of their past. For example, in Arcadia, magic has been banned by the throne. But Desmond, for example, comes from a more conservative view of magic, does not really want to accept it, doesn't want to acknowledge it, and kind of makes decisions that are more maybe aggressive towards like the rule, that rule. Whereas Vashti is understanding that yes, magic does exist, although it's illegal, kind of understanding like this is part of our world and we have to understand it if we are to either live with it or control it, right?
Yeah, and that's I think always like one of the big hubrises whenever we see like the idea of controlling the magic and this great power probably has some pretty big consequences for them early on. Like you were saying, like awakening that ancient power that's going to come back that they're then having to try to control. I'm sure there's a lot of impact there.
Yeah, and actually you get a little bit of a taste of that in the demo. You get to find out like Fennec, one of the characters who is being chased by the mages. You get to see him running away, and he's actually the one who kind of sniffs around or digs around this ancient ruin and unleashes it. But the consequences of that also aren't just like, it's not a dark magic, it's not like a necessarily innately evil magic, but it's really the people using the power and understanding like that power dynamic, kind of the politics of Arcadia as a nation, and it's really going to unleash it in a really exciting, really kind of just an exciting and suspenseful story.
Yeah, and I mean, it's very clearly, it takes its material very seriously, but then you had Finnick, as he was running out, inadvertently creates a knife-wielding raccoon, right? Which is like, within the world that it's built with the magic, like it all makes sense and it all flows together. But it is still like, I don't know, you get fun playing around with characters. Like the joy is sort of just in building out all of these different characters in this cast. And do they become as integral to the story as like with Finnick or the knife-wielding raccoon? I think that is a name, right?
Poncho, yeah. So Poncho's our furry little raccoon friend. Each of these characters are going to have different roles in the story, some a little more major, like Fennec is actually extremely important to the story. Poncho a little less important, but is going to kind of represent like, I think Poncho is a good representation of how people understand and use magic in this world.
Yeah.
Although Poncho is kind of a magic influenced being, the army ends up taking kind of Poncho in, which kind of shows that if you have the power, are you kind of like having a blind eye to it? How does the throne view like power and magic, or the rules that they're putting on the people of Arcadia? versus like the rules they put on themselves, right?
Right. If they're allowing that to come into their ranks, then are they breaking their own? Is it hypocritical at that point of them to allow it?
Yeah, exactly.
The combat style is very tactics. It's very much your turn-based, tactics style combat, and it works really, really well. The difficulty, I'm bad at these games, but is there a little bit of like guidance there for newer players to this these systems?
Yeah, so when the game releases, it's going to have a lot of, it's going to have a tutorial and like a lot of explanations on progressing through. We have a really exciting system that's going to allow each player to have their own experience with customizable classes. So there's 4 base classes, which all prestige into 2 different higher classes. It's going to give people the chance to play however they like. If you want to run a team full of archers, you're definitely welcome to do that. Archers are super powerful, but you can also have a team full of magic users or a team full of healers. And these different classes are going to kind of split off, and they'll maintain their abilities from their base class, and then spread off into even more unique classes, which will kind of give you the ability to play around with a lot of the strategies. And of course, the game is still pre-release, so we are still working on difficulty, really nailing it down, trying to get it set in a great place where people are challenged, obviously, and really engaged in the battles. But obviously, we don't want something to be like inaccessible.
Yeah, well, and I think one of the biggest accessibility features there for newer players or for any player is the sort of like undo your attack option there or your movement, which is a great addition here. Where I felt like if I did mess up, like at one point I may or may not have firebombed my own teammate, mistaking her for an enemy, but that I could have undid and or I can stick with my choices if I want.
Yeah, I believe movement's undoable. I don't believe
the attacks
aren't undoable.
Oh, okay.
But but we do have a pretty cool system that's kind of like adds a live time element into it. The battles where there's a casting system. So say if you did cast a fireball on one of your teammates, or I guess a flame wall, it's a different ability. Okay. You can actually run out of the range, and then that will nullify the ability. So if you see your enemies casting, which I'm sure you saw a little bit about that, you're actually able to kind of react to that. Maybe you're using field traps to slow them down, so you stay out of their range, or you stay on the edge, so they kind of waste their turn and you can escape their spells. So there are a lot of really fun tactical elements in the game that are going to help. That are definitely you'll have to put your mind into, but once you master them, they can be really, really exciting and really fulfilling to use.
Yeah, I should have done them. I was watching as someone cast magic at me. Just, hey, let's go. But yeah, the game is beautiful. I'm really excited to see more. I know you said in a couple months it's releasing sometime this year, right? Yeah,
so the game is releasing in the summer of this year.
Okay.
Just a few notes about the developer. They're a small indie team of 4 people. Taylor and Becca Bear started the project. They're brother and sister duo who really started this project off the ground. And they have their programmer, Patty Brandt, I believe, and additional assistance from their sound and music producer, Lawrence, who is just amazing. You hear this really cool jazz-inspired or jazz-infused soundtrack. It's really unique, but I think that combined with all the beautiful pixel art that the teams put together and this really exciting story really melds all together into a really kind of beautiful piece of art, but also a really, really fun and exciting game.
Right, and it is very cohesive, and it knows what it wants to achieve, and it seems like every element comes together really well to make an achievement of a game. And so, kudos to them. Just pass along, so excited to see what they're able to do. And again, the difference between this and what we saw at PAX West, I mean, it was already great then. I'm excited to see more development as it comes out before summer. And I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. If you have any more questions, we do post updates to the game and its development on our Steam page and our Twitter, on the Arcadian Atlas Twitter. So if you want to check out and follow the development, there's a lot of exciting news there. We reveal a lot of the classes that we've talked about a little, and they're like kind of crazy abilities. So
is that slash Arcadian Atlas on Twitter?
Yeah, that's at Arcadian Atlas on Twitter. And it's Arcadian Atlas on Steam if you also want to check it out there.
Do you have a Discord as well?
Arcadian Atlas on the Discord. I believe it's Arcadian Atlas Discord too. I know Discords are a little different.
But that's great to hear. And again, good luck. I hope everything goes well and that the release is as smooth as it can be, because that's always scary.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking your time. Also, thanks for coming back to demo the game again.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, one of my co-hosts was such a big fan, and he was just like, you have to make sure that you go and you check them out, because I didn't get to play it then, but I did get to watch it. And yeah, I'm super stoked.
Right on.